Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Glenda Chavez, and on my channel you will find all kinds of DIY content. Over the past month of April, I have been focusing on all kinds of DIY projects and hacks for my daughter's bedroom makeover, and this is the very last one that I have left to do. As with most toddlers, there's no room complete without a play kitchen. I know I had one growing up, my cousins had one growing up, so I definitely wanted to give that to my daughter as well. I decided to take an Ikea Play Kitchen that I found off of Facebook Marketplace for $15, which normally retails for $99 by the way, and give it a makeover. So if you want to see the makeover, let's go ahead and get started on this kitchen.
Overall, the kitchen was not in bad shape, especially for only $15. There were minor scuffs here and there and some markings from markers, but otherwise very stable and nothing was broken. The first thing I did was clean it up really well and using some all-purpose degreaser and a wet rag. Once it was all clean, I began removing all of the doors so that it would make things easier to work with. I also removed the shelves inside and the faucet. The top portion of the kitchen was only attached by some screws, so I removed those so I could attach the contact paper to the countertop a lot better. I used some Elmer's spray adhesive and some butcher block peel and stick paper I ordered off of Amazon. I dug through my very generous stash of hardware and found 4 matching wooden knobs that I will use later on as faux stove knobs. Now this isn't necessary, but I drilled some holes to have my faucet and handle sit upright while I spray painted them. I used my favorite spray paint by Rust-Oleum in the color Metallic Gold. I also sprayed the sink but used the matte white instead. I covered the metals on the side so I wouldn't get any paint on them, and then used the same gold color to spray paint the rod.
Before we move forward, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Beyond Paint. You probably heard me talk about Beyond Paint before. I've used them plenty of times already. Here's a couple of other projects that I've used Beyond Paint with. If you haven't heard about Beyond Paint is an all-in-one paint that requires
No stripping, no sanding, or priming.
It is water-based, low VOC, and easy to apply. The best method is to roll it onto a flat and larger surfaces and use a brush in corners or edges. Since I was crunched on time with this bedroom makeover because of all of the DIY projects I incorporated into it, Beyond Paint is helping me to minimize the amount of time I spent painting without sacrificing on the finish and durability. I am using the colors Bright White and Pebble, but they have a variety of colors to choose from. I will have a link in the description for you to check out Beyond Paint.
Like I mentioned before, I am using two colors for this kitchen to have a two-tone upper and lower cabinet look. I decided to do white on the top and ended up doing 3 coats. After the sink was done drying, I applied a generous coat of clear top coat from Rust-Oleum.
So I'm sure you guys can't see this. Kind of hard to pick it up on camera, but it's definitely not sticking here. It's lifted. So I'm just going to clean cut it all around the edges. I think it'll probably be a better idea. So
Ideally, I wanted the contact paper to come over the edges, but since that wasn't working out, like I mentioned before, I decided to remove the overlap. Once the top was dry, I placed it back into the base of the kitchen and measured the back opening so that I could cut down some MDF so I could add a backsplash. I am using these small hexagon white towels. You could certainly use contact paper instead, but I wanted it to be a little bit closer to feeling like a real backsplash. It was fairly easy to apply, measure, and cut to size. I used a few brad nails to nail it to the back and also caulked along the bottom edge to make it look a bit more seamless. Before I could paint the bottom base, I had to make holes for the wooden knobs that I had found earlier. I measured them exactly 3 inches apart, centered. I did 2 coats of the color Pebble on everything on the bottom, including the inside and the shelves. Let's remember what we started with and what it looks like now.
So we officially have merch. So I wanted my merch to be something meaningful, and so I decided to go ahead and go with the words be kind. I think it's important to remember to be kind, whether it's to yourself, your friends, your family, strangers, it doesn't matter. It's an important message that I always end my videos with, because I want everybody to remember that in order for us to have a more kind world, we need to be more kind. Thank y'all so much for sticking around and watching all of these fun DIY projects that I created for my daughter's bedroom makeover. I had a lot of fun doing these DIY projects, and I hope you had just as much fun watching me transform these pieces and maybe even got some inspiration out of it. Don't forget to check out my merch down in the description below. There are also other ways that you can help support this channel, which is through my Amazon wish list, buying me a coffee, or just simply liking my videos, watching my videos, sharing them, and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. I have a lot of fun DIY projects planned for the rest of the year, so you're not gonna wanna miss out. As always, I love y'all, be kind, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.